Good afternoon, everybody. I hope I'm audible to everyone here. I hope you had a nice lunch break. Here with us is Professor Ravi Kumar. He's a chief mentor here at the Department of Management Studies. He was the professor in organizational behavior at IIM Bangalore. He holds a master's degree in psychology, parapsychology, and he also has a doctoral degree in organizational behavior. He has been associated with Andhra University, Osmania University, Berhampur University, and Government of India's National Institute of Small Industry Extension Training, which is a center of excellence for pioneering endeavors in the area of entrepreneurship and small enterprise management. Professor Kumar has over 40 years of teaching, training, consulting, and research experience in the fields of organizational behavior and human resources management, in addition to wide-ranging academic administration. He's been the recipient of really great fellowships from the European Foundation for Management Development and Association of Management Development in South Asia, among his many other achievements. Thank you very much for being here with us this evening, sir. I would like you to speak to our new batch of IPM students. The floor is yours.
Good evening, young friends. It's a pleasure to be with you this evening. As it has been mentioned by our host, in case you have difficulties in seeing, showing your face, and listening to me, you can knock off two of them. Start the knocking off with your being visible. Second, I'm being visible. The advantage of that is you can first listen. Maybe this is going to be a last leg of learning through listening. Once the IPM starts, about which we'll talk about in another few seconds, you will learn other ways of learning. But please do that. We can't have control beyond a limit on the bandwidth or connectivity issues. I hope this is loud and clear. And what I would like to do is I try my best to be as punctual as possible, stick to the time frames that I've been given. And the last 10 minutes, maybe I'll keep it open for any questions, any clarifications. Because there's always a problem with teachers. And I'm a teacher and I'm proud that I'm in teaching profession. The problem with teachers is they don't need introduction, they need conclusion. I'm sure in your student life you have experienced, it's very difficult to stop a teacher. But to start new experience at NALSAR, you are most welcome to stop me in case you feel that you need to get a clarification. I hope that's clear. Okay. Now, for all of us at NALSAR, September 18th, 2021 is a memorable day of a memorable month of a memorable year. Why am I saying day, month, and year? This is the year IPM has been commenced from NALSAR. So it's a memorable day for the members of the community of NALSAR. Not only that, this is the first national law university that is offering such an integrated program in management. So why this is a very, very memorable month? Any guess? Any guess? Can somebody pitch in? Teachers' Day happens on September. And there can't be a teacher without students. There can be students without teachers. We have hundreds of examples. Then, it's a memorable day for more than one reason. The first reason is I'm talking to all of you. I'm talking specifically to the IPM students. Let me make an honest confession. I'm very, very jealous of you. I'm very, very angry with Dr. Pinaki, Dr. Faizan Mustafa. Had these people thought of such program in 74, I would have joined IPM. I'm so jealous of you and I'm so angry with them. When I come to Hyderabad, I will deal with them individually. That's a different story. It's a memorable day because I'm talking to you. Your uniqueness, your potential, and your value. I'll talk about it a little later. So for me, for the NALSAR community, for me, it's a very, very, very memorable day. One, because I'm talking to you. Second, I'm talking after my colleagues have interacted with you. A couple of my colleagues at NALSAR have interacted with you. Third, I'm talking before two great people whom I admire and adore. Dr. Faizan Mustafa, the Vice Chancellor of NALSAR, and Mr. Sam Pethoda, a very old friend of mine, a great well-wisher of mine. Dr. Faizan Mustafa is respected not only in our country, outside the country, as a very, very serious academic and institution builder. Sam Pethoda, on the other hand, affectionately known as Sam, is not only an organization builder, he added value to people, to society and government. So for me, it's a memorable day for more than one reason. On this memorable day, let me offer you my congratulations. It's not a small achievement that you are sitting here with me today at NALSAR. Digitally, fine, doesn't matter. Still, we are able to listen to each other. We can benefit from each other. Why am I saying something about you? You might haven't realized you are one among the very few such people in the country. You have only 1,500 people now in the country like you. All students of all integrated programs of management in the country put together is less than 1,500. You have a unique distinction of having IPM from a national law university. You'll be surprised to know, compared to the MBA students today joining in this year, you are 1/4 of them. Roughly 6,000 people graduate from IIMs alone. Forget about all of the institutions. So you are special. Second, you are the only bunch of people, batch of students, who have legal sensitivity and legal competence towards management, not the other way around. IIM Rohtak offers a program, but that's opposite. It's a management orientation towards with a legal flavor. Have you ever wondered, you are here because of what? According to me, you're here because of your strong will, hard work, that is focused, what we call it as smart. And most importantly, you are not here at NALSAR because of anybody's mercy or anybody's kindness. Please remember this. You're here because you deserve to be here, you strongly wanted to be here, and you worked towards that goal untiringly. Right? But please remember, my topic of the day is making every day count. I'm focusing my session, fine-tuning to that theme. Okay? Please remember, what brought you here will not take you to your desired goal. What brought you here will not take you to your desired goal. Which means you have to understand, I may be doing an MBA program. The skill sets, the learning paradigms, your study habits that brought you here will not take you through the course and will not come handy after the course. Let me tell you, since you're in an MBA program, though it's a 5-year program, I did some research works about 15 years ago. I asked several people who were writing CAT as an admission test to IIM's MBA, and I asked them, why MBA? You know what answer I got? They said, it is bigger than BA. And it is better than an MA. Hence, it's called MBA. Very, very, very innovative answer. But I was wondering, if I ask the same question to you today, you're doing an MBA program, your day has started, one day is over, second day is end of the second day now, you will say, I'm doing MBA without BA. So, what are we trying to understand? Why these 2 days, particularly today? You know, if you ask anybody who is working in defense anywhere in the world, you ask them, what do you do? Your purpose of your existence is war. But what do you do when there is no war? You know what answer you'll get? I got the same answer in Secunderabad in Institute of Defense Management about 35 to 40 years ago when I was teaching there. I asked them, what do you guys do? You might finish your service in your entire career, there may not be a war. And even if there's a war, you might not get a chance to participate. You know what answer I got? When there is no war, we are preparing for the war. This program is help you to prepare you for your 5-year journey. Whatever name you call it, induction, orientation, whatever it is. We are telling you what is in store. We will be telling you what may happen to you. We will, please remember, luck favors only prepared mind. I don't know how many of you believe in luck, but luck favors only prepared mind. We are here to prepare you, equip you. That is why making every day counts. Make your everyday count. Now, what do I mean by make every day count? There's no point in my giving you definitions. Let me give you a very simple example. All of you must be familiar with the story of Mahabharata. It's the war between two cousins. The larger size cousins are called as Kauravas. You must have read Amar Chitra Kada, or you must have seen a TV serial. I'm sure all of you familiar. And you have another 5 people called Pandavas. It's the war between cousins, right? Who won the war? Is there any doubt? It is Pandavas who won the war. But please remember, Kauravas had a larger defense forces. Kauravas had a large number of warriors, more capable warriors. They are mightier, but how come Pandavas won? If you understand this reason, you don't have to listen to my session at all. Anyway, I'm not going to talk about Mahabharata at all after this. Let me also caution you. Why am I saying this? How you spend your time before the war determines your success in the war. Just imagine, what did Pandavas do for 13 years? They lived in odd environments. Their survival was threatened. They lived in jungles. They lived in disguise. They're not sure of their success. They put in tremendous amount of hard work. How did Kauravas spend their time? Aish kiya, enjoy kiya, looked for all comfortable life. What did Pandavas do apart from suffering? They honed their skills. They made new relationships. That's why every day counts. Make every day count. That's the theme of my talk with you today. Right? Let me tell you in one sentence what is IPM, the 5-year integrated program in which you have joined. The ongoing pandemic's name is Corona. To protect you from Corona, you have to take vaccine, right? Vaccine, right? Many people in the world from the last 30 years believe the path to success is to do MBA. Fair enough, nothing wrong. That's fine with me. But to deal with Corona, as of today, you have to take vaccine twice, yes or no? To do an MBA, you have to do 2 entrances in general. If you do engineering, you have to write an entrance. Then to do an MBA, anywhere you have to write another entrance. So you have to take 2 exams. With 1 exam, it's a single dose vaccine to Corona. You're done. Your entrance exam is over and you are into. Now, what do you do rest of the time is yours. That's why make every day count. Fine. There are a couple of advantages of a 5-year integrated program because of you, not because of the nature of the program. I'll explain. I'm a student of psychology. And in psychology, we have learned Best learning happens before you finish your teens. Have you ever thought of it? Character building happens the best. My personality is almost set, my core is set by the time I cross 19. We are catching you young. None of you are about 20 there, right? All of you are below 20. You're on teens. So we are catching you younger. Now, what do you mean by younger? What is this demographic dividend tells us? The demographic dividend of being young tells us younger means you have less baggage. You have no hang-ups. As a young child, I'm sure all like me, you also heard about a nursery rhyme. Baba, Baba, black sheep, have you any wool? Yes, sir, 3 bags full. For a typical 2-year MBA program or 1-year MBA program, which is much worse, students come with their bags full, which is an obstacle for them to learn. You don't have a baggage. Second, I keep telling my friends in corporate, never fight with a youngster. You're bound to lose. You know why? He has a stronger desire to win than you because you won many times. So you think success has become a habit. It's a routine. For him, he will say that, listen, I will put more effort. So being young means what? No ego, no baggage, lots of energy, top it, strong determination, and you don't get tired. Okay? What's your driver in joining IPM and at NALSAR? Possibly what I said, you wanted to get into a unique positioning, which we'll talk about it later. But it is related to success. As I mentioned, people do MBA program to be on the path of success. Success, according to me, comes out of 2 reasons. 2 I's. We have 2 I's, EYES. I'm using 2 alphabets, I and I. One is an individual, that is you. Second is the institute. If both match each other, I think it leads to a very, very impactful event of the program. Now, what do I mean by this? Do you have the hunger? As an individual, your propensity, your potential is something comparable to hunger. Institute is nothing but food. Institute can give you food. If you don't take the food, if you don't have hunger, you can't take the food. So I firmly believe an individual might succeed because of the institute. An institute might get the name because of the individuals. IITs, IIMs have become great institutions precisely because of our students doing extremely well. So please remember, NALSAR is a great institution. It has not become it's not born as a great institution. Students like you have made NALSAR a great institution, and I'm sure you will carry the legacy. To make every day count, I want you to pay attention to a couple of words which I'm going to tell you. I have a model, I call this as a 10-year formula. For 10 years in a person's life, where it comes is a different story. If you work hard for 10 years, rest of your life, you can enjoy. Now, what do you mean by this? Look at any one of your classmates, people known to you of your age. If they have not cleared their 10th class exam, what would have been their life? Rest of the life they suffer, yes, son? Forget about it. Suppose I do engineering. To get into engineering, I have to study for 2 years in my +2. Then I do my engineering, then I do my MBA. You're almost finishing 10 years. Suppose you're not done well in 10th class, you're not done well in 12th class. What are you left with? You have to do well in your graduation, then in post-graduation, then maybe you have to do PhD. See, I always say that if you study hard for 10 years, Later, you continue to work hard, but you don't feel that you're working hard because working hard, working smart becomes a part of routine. That's the difference. So enjoy your learning. To make every day count, the first thing is you have to enjoy. I have a fundamental principle in my life. I will never do anything which I don't enjoy. When I enjoy doing, I continue to do it. People ask me, what is the reason for your success? You know, I'm telling you what I've been telling. What others do, I won't do. What I can do, others cannot do. This is what we call it as unique positioning. What others do, I will not do because I don't enjoy doing what others do. What I do, others cannot do. Simple English, no complication, no jargon, nothing. So enjoy what? All these years, you might haven't enjoyed the only form of learning called learning by listening. Learning by listening. You are not aware of other ways of learning, and you will get them abundantly in your 5 years from now. What is the other two? Learning by seeing will make you see things and make you learn. Then we'll make you experience. We generate experience, we create experience, we force experiences and make you learn from those experiences. So enjoy your learning. If you want to enjoy your learning, you have to enjoy or learn to enjoy unlearning. I told you what brought you here will not take you further. Learning is gaining something new. Unlearning is burning your fat. If I have to give a simple example in body sculpting, learning is building a muscle. Unlearning is burning a fat. I hope you got it. Third important thing is relearning. You might suddenly discover what you learned few years ago will come handy now. So enjoy your learning, enjoy your unlearning, and enjoy your relearning. The next one, enrich. Please realize as of today, you learned there's only one source of learning. That's the teacher or books. No. As of today, world is multiple source of learnings. What do you mean by multiple sources? You have physical learning and you have digital learning. You have book and you have ebook. Second, all these years, perhaps you learned only from a teacher. We have a sloka, Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Deva, Maheswara, also on. Right? But please remember, you can discover Guru in yourself. There is a teacher in you. What we call it as self-paced learning. You can learn from yourself. You can learn from your teachers. You can learn from your parents. You can learn from your favorite role models. The next one is empower. You have to give power to yourself. Empower means giving them power. You have to energize yourself. And you also have to learn how to empower others. Put it in a simple way, you don't have to do everything. You make a person do. So getting out of others' way is also a source of learning. You know, we are known for many interesting things in life. You must have heard about Karodpati and all that. I'll tell you some other kind of patis here. You know, our country, one of the reasons for our slow-paced growth is apathy. Nobody is bothered. Much worse than apathy is antipathy. Then we have sympathy. And we have action-oriented sympathy and lip sympathy. But please remember, can I learn it from a multiple perspective? And this is what we call it as empathy. Can I see the world from your perspective, not only from my perspective? Okay. So how can I be empathic? How can I see the organization from a customer's point of view? How can, as a teacher, I can see the world from a student's point of view? The last one, embrace experiences. Most of the times, because of our constraints, we don't believe in facing an experience. You will learn And that's why making every day count, you have to embrace an experience, right? IPM gives you several modes of experiences. Experience from yourself, experience by being with others, watching from others, tacit experience, direct experience, and most importantly, can I have synchronous experience? Can I have asynchronous experience? That means experience as it is happening, experiencing it after it has happened. That's the difference, right? 5-year program in which you just put your first step exposes you to new ways of teaching and learning. All these years, the last 12 years, you're used for talk, chalk, and dust. The teacher speaks, and as a student, you just sit there. Now, in your 5-year program, you have multiple technologies of teaching. From one side of lecture to the other end of the spectrum called lab, where unless you do something, you can't learn anything. When you don't do anything, people question you, why are you not doing anything? Right? We use a method called case method. You'll understand what is case method when you experience it. Right? We use a technique called instrumentation or instruments. We use a technique called role play. Incidentally, role play is what all of us have done when we were very young children. You play the role of a king, you don't know the dialogues, but you are the king. So you walk like a king, you look like a king, you overpower others like a king. It is within us. Taking the acting potential in you, how well you can do it. Now, this is how you can look into the other's perspective, right? Important aspect in this is there'll be new demands on your learning modes. All these years you're used for, if I can use the word, non-participative learning. Teaching is teacher's job. Learning is not my job. Sorry. Coming 5 years, you have to change that mode into something else, right? You have to move from passive, non-participative learning to active learning, proactive learning and reactive learning. All these years, you have seen teachers going to the class prepared. In your IPM, if you don't go to the class prepared, you're doomed. You're doomed. As we progress, you will come to know what it is. You will be assigned reading materials, you will be given materials, and it is at a self-paced learning. Please understand. The learning is going to be learner-centric, not teacher-centric. It is learner-centric. Third important thing is there is something called action learning, which you might haven't even heard. MBA programs, 5-year programs are very well known for action learning. I don't know whether you heard about an experience called outward bound experience, called outbound experience. We use very, very surrogate techniques. I had the dubious distinction of bringing that to India about 30 years ago. It's also called as wilderness training. It's also called, technically speaking, jungle training. How you behave when you are at a crisis. How do you look for your resources? How do you optimize your resources? All these things cannot be done and will not be done through a lecture method. It's a learner-centric teaching. In other words, in this 5-year program, what you take is what you get. What you get is what you take. Imagine there is a stream of Ganges River. How much of water from Ganges you can take depends on the container you carry. So this is what I meant by making every day count. Okay. All these years you are being penalized for questioning, yes or no. Don't ask any questions. And quite often you must have confronted, oh, that's a stupid question. If you ask me, we'll tell you in IPM, there's nothing called a stupid question. Answers could be. You might find my answer stupid. You're not calling me stupid. My answer may be stupid. Please remember, to ask a question, you don't need knowledge. You don't need competence. You need only, if possible, if there is a need be, a courage. And incidentally, questions are really short in length. Answers are, I'm sure you've written exams, answers are pretty long. To give an answer, to provide an answer, you require competence, you require knowledge, you require skill to communicate. So, you know what question means? Question. We talked about Teachers' Day. Dr. Radhakrishnan's philosophical explanation of question means I quest on. I hope you got it. That makes a word called question. Okay? Now, your job is to acquire, your job is to assess, your job is to apply, and your job is to actualize the learning. You will be surprised to know, as a form of education, you must have been told 3 important R's are there in education: reading, writing, and arithmetic. IPM will tell you those R's are important, you are done enough, leave them. We are going to tell you new R's. What are the new R's? Reflective learning, reflection. All these years you learned it by heart, thinking that heart is the seat of memory. No, you don't have to remember. If you have internalized, you don't have to remember. So reflective learning, learning by relating. This is what we call it as applied learning. Can I relate to an individual? Will it work with him? Will it work in a different context? Which are the parameters of the context where it will work? It will work better. So that is learning through relating. Third thing is realizing. Realize the need to change gears. You don't have to change your destination. Those of you who follow Google navigation maps, what happens in Google navigation maps? You define the destination. It gives you a path. Suddenly, by mistake or for some reason, you have taken a wrong turn. What will happen? The route map will change, but the destination remains the same. This is called changing gears. Can I change gear when I see a change in terrain? This is what we call it as realizing the need to change. Last point I would like to tell you at this stage is you're young. You might get offended if somebody says you're a child. No. Retain the child in you. What do you mean by retain the child in you? Very, very simple. Your energy levels are needed by the world. So you have energy, retain your energy, right? You might feel little, recharging of a battery, like a mobile battery, but you recharge faster than the time it takes to get discharged. So you have a lithium cell in you, don't kill it. Please ensure that lithium cell is active, regularly charged, fully charged. Okay. Second, curiosity. When I say retain the child, you should have the spirit to question, curious. Why things work this way? Why things don't work this way? Second, the third one is enthusiasm. Desire to learn is the most important aspect to learn. Eklavya had a desire to learn. Then he found an opportunity to learn. He didn't have a formal teacher, but he learned. If you believe in that as a story. If you think it's a history, fantastic, I have no problem. The next one is you're not deterred by failures. Children will never get deterred by a failure. Remember the days when you played cricket. You're out. Yes, I'm out, but I still want to play. Or you say, I'm not out. Fine. Lastly, you're not afraid of failures. You're not afraid of mistakes. I'll tell you one corporate reality. Those people who commit mistakes are the people who are working. Those persons who have not committed a mistake means they're not working on anything. Because if you don't work on anything, you don't commit a mistake. So, child is never afraid of mistakes. We wrote the exam, they committed mistakes. It's okay, fine. I will learn from the mistakes. The next point I would like to mention to you is, you must have heard about a word called boss. I'm sure, boss. Who is my superior? I'll tell you, there's nobody superior to you. You are your boss when it comes to IPM. You decide your future. You decide which navigation map you use. You decide which vehicle you use. You decide the path. In my field, it's called locus of control. Who decides your future? It is I who decide, not anybody else. Fine? Learn what makes sense. So obviously certain things don't make sense. What do you do with things that don't make sense? Wait for some time to make it sensible. What is a nonsense today might make sense to you after some time. Remember what your grandfather, grandmother would have told you. At that time, it's all bullshit. Suddenly, one night before the end term examinations or the final exam, you realize your grandpa was correct and you are wrong. The earlier the realization, better is your performance. Right? Now, whatever has not made any sense, remember it. Apply it at a later. Maybe it is not for today. It is meant for 5 years down the line. I told you, when there is no war, what defense people do? They're preparing for the war. To close this in another 3 minutes, I've done a good amount of research in success, but I'm giving you certain aspects. Success, whatever may be the definition of success, comes from positioning. Positioning means, can I operate from a room where there are lesser number of people as compared to another room of the same size where there are more people? So less the competition, better. You have that advantage. I told you, 1,500 people throughout the country of this batch, as compared to 6,000 MBAs within their students, first years. Okay, from IIMs. Okay, you are peculiar. That means unprecedented. You are the first batch at NALSAR. Please remember, you will be compared, others will be compared to you. There is nobody that you can be compared. Have you noticed it? If you go to a program, second batch, third batch, fourth batch, the teacher will say, your seniors are not like you. Here, there's nothing called your seniors. You're the first batch. It's like if you're a single child in family, there's no sibling rivalry. You can't say my sister and brother, you have no chance to complain. And you can't say it about parents. You're only one set of parents, in India at least. So that's the next one. The last one is, you need preparedness to change yourself. As I told you, when I'm driving, if there's a change in terrain, I have to change gears. If my question is not understood, I have to reframe my question, but I don't have to give up a question. The last one is, be passionate. Passion determines performance. Passionate about learning, passionate about making a difference, right? All of you have a destination. Be patriotic about destination. You have to be patriotic about country, you have to be patriotic about your family, fine, but you have to be more patriotic about your goal. What I would like to tell you is, world needs you. You don't need the world, because you make the world. Your imagination, your compassion, your hands and heart, right? Your courage to create opportunity for you and others, and appetite for adventure. These are all the things I see in the first batch of students of IPM at NALSAR. World is going to be at your feet. You don't have to be at anybody's feet. All the best, Godspeed, and devil's courage. Thank you. Any question? I'll be very happy. I'll take another 10 minutes, 5-10 minutes. I have unlearned a habit in the last 40 years. Whenever I have a session, I get on to minimum 90 minutes. I have to tell myself, I have to finish this in 40 minutes. And even at this stage, I'm able to learn. Learning stops when you die. So all of us are students lifelong. Thank you. Any question, any clarification? It will be my pleasure. Pinaki is the boss.
Sir, am I audible?
You'll have to come close.
Okay.
No, it's okay. Let Pinaki be there. He enjoys being in the backbench. Come on, don't destabilize him. I have been a backbencher all my lifeline.
Sir, I'm right behind you.
No. I don't want you to be behind anybody. You should be ahead of others.
Thank you, sir. Sir, I mean, I think it has inspired all of us also to think creatively and think about possibilities. I think I say strongly believe in what you say about empathy and about being a winner. Set your eyes on the destination and the journey. Enjoy the journey is something that I take away from your talk, sir. I also wanted to say.
Any questions, please?
Yeah, we will now open up for questions in case all of our bright young minds have.
I'm seeing some text here. I'm seeing some text. Just wait a second. Oh, I have one. How do we make ourselves unique, as and what we should do to make ourselves unique? Let me answer this question. I don't know from whom. I think this is from Vishut. I didn't have a permission to reveal a name, but I revealed it. Teachers are known to do lots of illegal things, not unethical. So I've done it. See, how do we make yourself unique? I don't know about others. I can tell you about myself. Right? I happen to be the first Indian, after doing BCom, explored doing masters in psychology and parapsychology. Is that clear? Is that not clear? Till then, nobody explored doing MA in psychology and parapsychology after BCom. So I was asked a question, why do you want to do this? You should go to MCom, you should go to MA economics. I said, listen, just because nobody has done it does not mean that I should not do it. Fact that nobody has done it, I see this as an opportunity. So there's no comparison. Second, many people have done PhD. Again, if you say that I'll get into a new area, it's challenging, but there is a calculated risk. My PhD was the first full-time PhD, and I'm thankful to all my teachers because they delayed their PhD. Otherwise, they would have been earlier to me. I'm thankful to all my teachers. I became the first full-time PhD from the department. I'm thankful to all my other research scholars because they took their own time. Please remember, in romance and in career building, the faster you do it, better is the result. Let's not forget it. You can't say, I continue my love. It has to fructify somewhere. Right? Love between man and woman, irrespective of age. Okay? Third, how do you position yourself unique? I mentioned it earlier. What others do, I will not do. What I do, I'll ensure others cannot. What do you mean by this? You must have been familiar with what is called a PowerPoint presentations. I'm the first fellow perhaps in this country who said, my PowerPoint presentations will be given to anybody. Anybody, not only my students, anybody can take it. Because the power is here. The point is here. In PowerPoint, neither there is a power nor there is a point. Example, I'll say ECG. In my PowerPoint presentation, you'll find ECG. Now, what does that ECG mean? You don't know, I know. My student who attends my class knows. Emotional commitment to goal. Till now, you looked at Mahabharata only from one angle. From today onwards, you realize what is the reason for the success of Pandavas. Many people say Dharma is on their side. Many people say Krishna is on their side. Doesn't make any sense to me. I think the way I spend my time before the exam determines my performance in exam. I used to sleep off 16 hours before the exam. Can you just imagine? Why? Because I prepared better than my teacher. My competition was with my teacher in preparation. But I never taught in class when he was there. Please understand there's a difference. So I hope I answered your... Now somebody is asking me about paranormal experiences. See, parapsychology is a fantastic field. Unfortunately, I cannot say much here. We have not used it as a country, but Russia has used it extensively. Those of you who are interested to know a little bit about it, please see a film called Telefun. Charles Bronson acted in that film. It's about KGB agents, how they use telepathic skills. Telefun, Charles Bronson. Okay, paranormal experiences, most of the time, whenever they investigated, they have been found to be frauds. But that does not mean science is dynamic. Traditions are dynamic. Please remember, what is a scientific fact 30 years ago may not be a scientific fact today. That's the beauty of science. Traditions are not static, they are dynamic. My grandfather, my mother's father, got married, I believe, for 7 days. 7 days. Somewhere in, I think, 1910. So 1920. Let's presume 1920. Okay. My father and mother, they told me that they got married for 5 days. My eldest brother's marriage was, say, about for almost 2 days. When I got married, the reception happened first, then the marriage happened. Nowadays, followed by honeymoon, right? Nowadays, perhaps the order is changed. I don't want to go into any details. So marriage has changed. How do we wish God nowadays? We send an emoji, na? We don't wish God namaskara. No, we send him a text message. So traditions are dynamic, they're not static. Now, what is your job? To make an addition to the tradition. Traditions are there, you make an addition. I hope I am clear. And I hope you find me clear. How can we motivate ourselves more effectively through reinforcement? Well, there is something called SSB, Sasastra Sima Banno, self-stroking behavior. I'll tell you a simple example. There's a very, very popular patriotic song in Hindi, which originated from an English song. We shall overcome one day. हम होंगे कामयाब एक दिन, दिल में है विश्वास और बाकी है बकवास. This is not the original, this is tampered. I told you, making addition to the tradition. If you don't have faith in yourself, how do you expect your girlfriend or boyfriend to have faith in you? If you're not sincere to yourself, how do you expect others to be sincere to you? In English alphabets, tell me, all of us know English alphabets. What comes first, I or you? I come first. Whatever I cannot do, how can I ask others to do? I can do, but I don't want to do. Because I believe that if I can make somebody else do that job, in this meantime, I can invest my time for better returns. Please remember that. My mother knows how to cook food, but she used to make my sister cook. It served two purposes. My sister learned how to cook. Otherwise, she would have, by going to university, she would not have learned. She would have suffered later. Her children would have suffered for generations. My mother taught cooking. My sister started cooking. And my mother looked after other aspects, guests, domestic management, managing on the edge, managing global peace. Why not? Yeah, I don't see any other question. Yeah, I spilled over by 5 more minutes. I deserve a penalty. I think Pinaki is looking at me, but Pinaki is the boss always when it comes to NALSAR and IPM, and I'm his subordinate. And Pinaki, you want us to continue? You want us to stop? You decide. Dr. Pinaki.
Sir, I think I must at this time let all of them know that without your support and intervention at the right time, this program would not have seen the light of its day.
Let them not see the ghost. I'm going off. I'm going off the camera.
Thank you very much, sir. Sir, there are many questions coming up now. I think one more. So, what is intelligence?
What is intelligence and why should we care? What is intelligence and why should we care? I can't understand. What intelligence? Can somebody...
Kasim, if you can open the mic and explain to sir.
Which aspect of intelligence? I have several ways of understanding intelligence. Scholastic intelligence, numerical intelligence, spatial intelligence, all police intelligence, or counterintelligence, military intelligence, girlfriend's intelligence, romance intelligence? Which one? If you go with a bunch of friends and all of them are good at drinking, my suggestion is you don't drink. You can actually add to the bill much more than them, but you have to pay less money because they get intoxicated. They can't drink much. You can drink. There are certain, most of us, when we do digital teaching, certain questions, we look at the question and we don't even identify the person. See, please remember, there is something called intelligence related with friends. Some of us are very good at exploiting our friends. We'll say, I come as a pillion rider. You save your petrol. If police are caught, you are left out. That is friends' intelligence. Now, oh boy, there's so many questions. I know, all questions, answers are free. That's why so many questions are coming. But I would say is, after all, we started our relationship now. Let's not exhaust all our questions, but there are multiple ways of intelligence. I'll give you one simple example. There is something called social intelligence. How do you understand the relationship between two people without knowing them? There is something called emotional intelligence, right? Some people have done lots of work, a couple of my colleagues, right? There is something called, generally when we say intelligence, we confine ourselves to something related with your brain power. Please understand this. There are many people who have not gone to school. I don't know whether anyone of you have experience with a doodh wala or a pani puri wala, or an average politician in the country today, or average real estate man today in the country, an average film fellow in the country connected with movies. They have not gone, they don't have any numerical intelligence, they don't have any mathematical intelligence, or forget about engineering intelligence. But they do business in crores. And they make policies. Go back to what I said. They're good at intelligence of questioning others. ऐसा क्यों होना है? ऐसा नहीं क्यों हो रहा है? As simple as this. See, if you have no intelligence, you have difficulties in questioning. If you are intelligent enough, you ask a question so that your intelligence will be sharpened by the answer. Organization can be said as a mixture of both sciences and art, which we should be focused must. See, to me, it's a scientific art. To me, it's a scientific art. See, let's not get into this debate, is God is there or God is not there. Is it art or science? Doesn't make any difference. It's like, leaders are born or made. It's usual question. I tell them, you give them birth, we'll make them leaders. As simple as that. Let them be born. Then we can make them leaders. Without being born, how can we make leaders? Right? I see anything else? No. Any other question, please?
Sir, did you have, good evening, sir. I have a question. I couldn't chat, so that's why.
Don't bother, go ahead, man. You are more courageous than us.
Yes, sir. Sir, did you get ever stuck in between before reaching your destination, or how did it boost yourself? Like, how did you boost yourself for managing between before you reach your destination?
Let me answer your question in your way. Have you heard about Jackie Chan? Please
Yes,
see
sir, yeah.
Jackie Chan films. When he is cornered at a 90-degree walls, two walls, he's cornered. Till then, what is we thought way out is either get beaten up. Right?
Yes.
What did he do? He will climb up on the wall and jumps backwards. Have you noticed it?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Please remember, if main door is closed, there must be a window open. Is that clear?
Yes, sir. I understand.
देर होगा अंधेर नहीं होगा. There will be obstacles. I'll very happy to tell you something else. Most of the obstacles, according to me, are self-imposed regulations. I won't do it. What do you mean by you won't do it? You decided not to do it. How can you blame the whole world? I won't contest. Tell me, anywhere in the world, without writing the entrance exam, will you get admission?
No.
No, you have to send your application. Nah? If they find your profile is so good, they'll say that join us. We exempt you from many things. Please remember one thing. I make the organization, and organization makes me. You're all very lucky. You're all blessed. Right? Your time has come. I hope I answered your question. Remember Jackie Chan.
Thank you so much, sir.
I'll do one thing. I don't know which city you live in.
Hyderabad only, sir.
Oh, Hyderabad. Oh, Hyderabad is notorious. You do one thing. You ask somebody to take you on a two-wheeler ride. Or come to Bangalore. You know, when there's a traffic jam, for two-wheelers, there's no traffic jam.
Yes, sir.
They get on to payment, and for payment, they'll go to a stormwater drain. From stormwater drain, they'll go to ropeway bridge near Madhapur, and why not?
Thank you so much, sir.
You always, there is a will. If there is a will, you will find the way. That's what I meant by strong determination. We are behind schedule. I think we have to close it. We can't keep the VC waiting. Please, it's unfair. He's our big boss and a very dear friend. As I told you in the beginning, two people I adore are going to speak. Okay, any other? Any other question, please? Thank you so much. I'm sure I'll get a chance as soon as possible to be with you one-on-one physically, because being physical has its own fun. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir.
God bless you.
Professor Kumar's talk has been recorded and it will be uploaded onto our AIS system in case you want to watch it again in the future. Thank you very, very much, sir.
I hope any watcher will pay some royalty to that. Put a fee. And let all that fee, I'm not joking, I'm very serious. Let all that money not come to me, now to NALSAR. Pinaki sir, my request for you is any one of these clippings, please make it pay for you. And let that money go to the IPM first batch students fund.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much.
So how you can motivate this to happen is let each one of them, they see it and pay a nominal fee.
All right, sir.
That goes to a fund.
Will do, sir. Will do.
Thank you. God bless you.
As always, sir, it's lovely listening to you and being charmed all the way. We will, sir, have you here soon. I think as soon as the university opens up, we'll have you as will the IPM students be. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.